Debo floats in the cosmic void above a purple-shrouded planet as text reveals that Gate has obtained all the ages of conspiracy, but peace remains elusive. Everything was the result of a devil's scheme. Many adventurers had their lives taken at the Gate, and Maple World's latent power slowly began to awaken. The long-awaited final day arrives as dragons soar through cosmic skies filled with glowing orbs, while Aaron prepares for the ultimate confrontation. Countless monsters have broken through the gates and emerged over the years. We were defeated. 3 years have passed since now, and the time for Maple World to face its destiny has not come far off. The title, The Last Adventurer, appears in bold letters. Aaron leans back in contemplation, a pipe held thoughtfully between his fingers as sunlight streams through the window. Debo stands beneath the grand domed ceiling of an ornate institution, footsteps echoing in the vast space. Someone declares this wicked bastard, noting that this level of start would have been impossible. Aaron observes that the 100 gates discovered here are red rank, letting out a contemplative sound. A voice declares that they can wear up to 2 circles at most. The voice explains that normally adventurers carry high circle collections just for display, but the reason they're investing in him now is because the gates are targeting him. An overhead view reveals the town below as a voice explains that once an item is purchased, it's obvious that throwing away everything in the corner would be a clear waste, and that the necessary equipment needed now is too expensive. Debo's thoughts race as he realizes that if he could somehow sweep away everyone in this storage right now, but then he remembers there's a woman here. His gaze falls upon a nameplate reading storage, mounted on the wall. Debo stands silently at the window, his dark cloak draped around him as he gazes out at the cloudy sky. Storage. Debo pulls his dark cloak closer as he stands in the misty landscape. Footsteps echo on the stone floor as figures move through the shadowed corridor. Aaron gestures enthusiastically, with both hands raised. Everyone's been waiting. I'll show you around. Aaron waves from across the courtyard, where caged wolves rest behind iron bars. Aaron stands with a muscular companion, both positioned behind the others. Debo looks down thoughtfully as rings float around him. This person is different, he says. Debo's eyes widen in surprise as he gasps softly. Aaron moves through the stone corridors as Debo calls out, asking if he can hear him despite his suffering, and Aaron confirms that he can hear the unspoken words being taught. A voice declares that finding him now would be troublesome. Heavy footsteps echo through the corridors with a deliberate thud. Someone acknowledges the situation, quietly, saying this is troublesome. Behind iron bars, Debo crouches in shadow, while Aaron extends his hand through the cell, speaking to someone beyond. Chained hands dangle as heavy footsteps approach with a metallic clank. Aaron's breath comes in heavy gasps as he struggles against his bonds. Debo watches from behind the bars as chains finally snap with a sharp crack. Aaron stares ahead with a troubled expression. This name is Alia, he says quietly. Debo slumps forward behind the prison bars, his head hanging in exhaustion. Debo looks up from behind the bars with fierce determination. I found you, he declares. Long ago, there was the death of a person who had discovered the destruction of Maple World. Several figures float in the cosmic void above a mystical battleground, where Debo grips his weapon, facing the title, Hero of Darkness, Eren. She was murdered. Silence stretches across the void. Heavy chains clake against stone as someone speaks of knowing the time of a few deaths. The last disciple. Debo lies bound in chains, his eyes filled with pain as he whispers, "Hero killer, Debo." Right away. Debo looks up with weary eyes. "Did you find him?" he asks. Eren's eyes burn with intensity as he declares, "I can see you're a mess. Get away from me." A voice calls out, "Sorry," as bright light erupts through the stone chamber. Debo reflects that this situation is truly strange. A voice declares that even if they retreat, nothing changes for him, and that even so, taking such a reckless attitude is dangerous. Debo grits his teeth in anguish, telling himself that he can't just throw away his pride like this. A calm voice responds that crazy people follow right behind them. Someone lies unconscious, their face pale and still. Aran's eyes widen in recognition. It's not just your personality that's like that. After the final day, you and I will together rule the world's purpose. Two figures stand back to back in a brilliant cosmic space, one wielding a massive ornate axe, while a voice reflects that they were the most anticipated people. Yet now, they seem like polar opposites with vastly different personalities and abilities. Debo's hands blaze with golden fire as he declares this was the most radiant thing he'd ever seen. A figure behind prison bars grins menacingly and asks if this shameful situation is perhaps more fun than expected. Aren's eyes blaze with fury as he declares it's only 100,000 messages. A massive hand reaches forward as someone gasps, "What?" Aran's eyes burn with intensity as he declares, "It's a situation that requires either you or me to provide help." Aran floats in the blue depths as his voice echoes through the water. "There's a sister who got caught in a phantom disease over there." Eren crashes to the ground, blood streaming from his battered face as he grits his teeth in pain. Debo's eye widens in shock. "Oh," he whispers. Debo stares at the book in his hands, breathing heavily. The mysterious figure holds a blade, eyes gleaming as they whisper, "This is only 100 messages?" Eren's face contorts with shock and alarm as he shouts, "Are you serious?" Aran's eyes widen in complete shock as the revelation hits him. The figure's jaw clenches as they let out a low, frustrated grunt. Debo lets out a weary sigh as he slumps against the wooden railing. His eyes narrow with focused intensity as he speaks about the item obtained from the gate. Aran's face shows a mixture of pain and exhaustion as sweat beads on his forehead. A hand reaches toward him as someone says, "Let me confirm." The tension builds as the moment stretches between them. The figure lunges forward with a blade, demanding, "What is it?" Sharp teeth gleam as someone lets out a fierce growl. Debo contemplates whether there's any pain without suffering, questioning if this is what the student's purpose was all along. Debo smiles with quiet satisfaction as he pulls his hood closer. "I came right to the gate," he tells the other figure standing in the brick-walled space. Someone calls out, sharply, to be careful. Aran looks up with a determined expression and tells Debo he has something to do. Debo grins wickedly and declares that anyone who gets in his way will be twisted apart. Sunlight filters through the forest canopy as a gentle breeze stirs the leaves. Aran calls out through the trees, asking if the captain is there. Aran stands ready with his weapon as another figure approaches through the forest clearing. A decorated axe blade gleams as it cuts through the air with a sharp whistle. Debo's eyes widen in shock as he shouts, "If that happens!" A glowing figure emerges from a crack in a massive tree trunk as someone explains, "One wound in the Red Copper League. Time limit is 80. That's how I found it." Debo staggers back as a powerful strike connects, and a voice declares that their boss's level of determination is beyond measure. The impact sends Debo crashing down with tremendous force. Aran asks what's wrong. Debo's eyes widen as he speaks with determination about the president and being confused. Debo grins through his exhaustion, sweat beading on his face as he declares, "It's good." A hand reaches out in the darkness. Something drops toward the sandy ground below. Debo looks up with wide eyes and calls out, "Here!" while making a sharp gesture with his hand. Aran swings a massive red axe while another figure points directly ahead. Aran cries out as something strikes from above. "Hey, hey!" he shouts. Debo's eye gleams with fierce determination, sweat beading on his face. Debo drives his axe downward with tremendous force as he shouts, "Fall back!" A blade slices through the air with deadly precision. Debo screams in agony as the weapon finds its mark. "Oh, Gah!" he cries out. A tremendous impact reverberates through the dimensional space. Aran's energy erupts in a blinding explosion of light and power across the mystical landscape. The canyon walls stretch endlessly upward in shades of crimson and gold, carved by ancient forces into towering spires. Debo tumbles through the air between the rocky formations. "Whoa!" he shouts. Golden energy beams streak downward with crushing force. Aran snarls with wild fury. "You damn bastard! I'll escape from this place with 8 others and kill you. I'm not done yet," he roars, while another voice whispers, "Something is wrong." The golden energy strikes with tremendous impact, sending debris cascading through the air. Aran grimaces against the assault. "This is bad," he mutters. Multiple wooden creatures with glowing yellow eyes emerge from the tree trunks, their carved faces twisted with menace as they advance. Aran lies motionless on the ground. A warrior stands over his fallen opponent, bloodied axe in hand, and speaks with regret. "I'm sorry, but the sound I made was too loud. It's only natural that even a famous move would be easily heard when the distance was this short." Debo strikes with swift precision as his blade finds its mark. "Wait, just wait," Aran cries out as the attack lands. The massive stone pillars crumble and crash down around the battlefield. Fire Arrow appears in blazing text against the flames. Aran roars in fury as flames engulf his massive form, crying out, "What?" as the fire arrow finds its mark. Debo stares ahead with wide, startled eyes, a bead of sweat rolling down his face. Golden energy streams across the seam in brilliant arcs. Golden flames surge upward as Aran roars, his glowing eye blazing with fierce intensity. Blazing golden energy erupts through the air as dark crimson slashes tear across the battlefield, while Aran's massive form moves through the chaos. Debo grips a glowing golden elixir and drinks deeply as radiant energy swirls around him in brilliant streams of light. Arin's massive form erupts through dimensional space as flames and energy tear across the cosmic void. Debo emerges from the swirling energies, his silhouette stark against the brightening sky.